So my membership on Old School RuneScape ran out, and I'm not sure if I'm going back right now. Uh, Hold on. Okay, so my membership on Old School RuneScape just ran out, and I'm not going to be going back for a little while. Gotta play RuneScape, but I don't have a good enough computer to have the jagex launcher. And 2004scape is a great alternative if you don't have the money to, I think, is like RuneScape is supposed to be a game that we enjoy. It's supposed to be like a celebration. It's supposed to be like a token. It's supposed to be almost like a in before like jagex like has me executed for fucking taking people away from the main game. I'm not trying to take people away from the main game with my 2004scape videos. If only I'm like working on editing like a new video. The whole plan for this channel is not to necessarily promote 2004scape, but to promote RuneScape in general. I think it's very obvious that old school RuneScape is probably the better game. 2004scape is kind of drag, You gotta there's a lot of shit in this game. It is a giant grind fest. As the game currently is basically just a giant grind fest. If you enjoy clicking on individual lobsters to cook lobsters and individual flax to spin bowstrings, I guess the Cook X option is coming out, I guess, in the future, and this game could be like a decent version of the game. For me, any RuneScape progress is going to be a part of my story of ultimately beating the game. And I'm still going for 200 mil. Come on, bud. What the fuck? Any progress on RuneScape to me is another experience and another piece of efficiency or progress that adds on to my tally of how good I am at the game, and always refining how I play, and it's a crazy fucking conundrum between the main game and private servers. Because some private servers are really fucking good. With RuneScape membership being at $13 a month, you see, I'm not a rich man right now. Yeah, I live off of $36 a week, So, Lost City, this server is called Lost City, aka 2004scape. There's also a 2006 Reborn private server. So, there's that too. And, it's over here on 2004scape, I think we want to relive the moments of RuneScape that passed most of us by. You see, I was in school when I was when 2004 was happening, and it wasn't until high school that I really started playing a lot. I think jagex should acquire pay money to Lost City. I believe in that. jagex should probably pay money to Lost City or charge them a fee, or acquire Lost City and make that a part of your monthly membership as you get to play Lost City, or for a discount, because Lost City is the inferior game, I guess. I really don't want to kill you know, 100,000 Chaos Druid warriors for 99 Herblore and sit there for like a year just getting 99 Herblore, sit here for like a year mining Rune Essence for all the money that I'll ever need on the game. And it sucks because so many of us have dumped so much time into this game already. This game has almost been out for a year now. I would like to have an official statement from jagex on this server, like in a comment of this video, on what they really feel about it. You know, but please don't take down the server. You know, it's like I've dumped like hundreds of hours into this shit. I'm not like, I'm like a busy guy. I'm like a busy guy. And the time I have sunk into this game is like fucking, I could have made like, you know, another chunk of money in my life. I could have like done this, done that, and it's like, I think like maybe not the people that work at jagex, but the people that own jagex love the fact that people are dumping like their precious, the most precious resource that we have is like time into the game, instead of doing stuff like, I don't know, like getting your money right, you know. So you could be like me and just play RuneScape all day. You know, that's like the vision that I have for the future is RuneScape will be a game that lives forever, you know. And also, if jagex is watching this video, I do have like $100 million worth of assets, you know, that I'm willing to invest into the jagex corporation. I'm willing to like make a deal so that I could maybe become like a chair at the round table of jagex. But in life, you know, I'm not a rich man. I don't have a lot of cash. I live off of like 36 bucks a week. I just have like investments and stuff that is more so set, more so for the future, you know. You know, but 2004scape is great because when you have a shitty fucking computer and when you have like, you know, old school RuneScape, quite frankly, is much better. I've pretty much figured that out, is much better. I don't like the sailing skill. Even RuneScape 3 is probably better than 2004scape. If you haven't played RuneScape 3, then don't talk shit about RuneScape 3 because RuneScape 3 is still pretty fucking good compared to... Think about it for a second. It's been almost a year, and let's see what the high scores tell us about the game. 190, 89 million XP. Let's look at number 1 and see what his stats are. Well, you know, he has like a bunch of 99s, but, well, but nothing, I guess. But still, you know, is like combat stats, hit points, range, prayer, 82 prayer, magic, cooking, wood cutting, fletching. Holy shit, 99 fletching. That shit's fucked up. Like, number 1 on the game is still not maxed, you know. So imagine what that means for you and me, you know. And if you think about it, number 2 is Dog, and I think he has like the most XP. And he has like a bunch of like base like 80 stats and like all this crazy shit, and I don't know where he's getting most of this XP from. Is like thieving, fishing. He has like 19 million XP in fletching, cooking. What is he going for? 200 mil all fucking skills? Holy shit. Like, that's pretty fucking crazy. Alright, cap cut. Gonna close out a cap cut. I'll like edit my previous video. Yeah, I'm just really nervous that jagex is going to take down this server, and that just proves that basically RuneScape is not about RuneScape and people that love RuneScape. RuneScape is about money. RuneScape, from a business owner's perspective, you're going to build more loyalty if you don't make it so much about money, if you make it about, you know, the, you know, I don't know, the players and the player experience. Because I'll tell you, quite frankly, I have downloaded a copy of Lost City on my computer, and I think everyone should, because I love RuneScape, but I'm not going to support basically a company that just likes to shit on us, and we'll just go and play private servers. You know, there's better games out there than RuneScape, but it's that I like RuneScape for high scores. You know, it's jagex, the company, that kind of tends to piss me off. You know, that every, like, I could like I could almost like understand if you know, like business is a lot less about the top line. You know, how much money are you pulling in like as quickly as possible? Is like, first of all, what I think jagex needs to do is just lay off some of the people that work there. Stop developing new shit. You know, just the game is fine. You know, it doesn't take a team of 1,000 monkeys to build, maybe 1,000, okay, but not like 10,000. You know, I don't know how many people they have working for them, but I think what's happening is they have too many people working and they're scared to fire people, so they just have them keep pumping out content and shit. And there we go with the Great Corrend. The Great Corrend was the death of old school RuneScape. Great Corrend is fucking garbage. That was the death of old school RuneScape right there. And then Sailing comes out. I guess Sailing is supposedly like really fun and added like a lot of content into the game. I don't want to do Sailing. I like a nice simple game of grind. I like a nice simple game of grind. What about if jagex releases like a actual 2007 version of RuneScape with just the Grand Exchange, and like and no like way to bot, like a trade limit and just the Grand Exchange, with like a plus or minus 5% on the Grand Exchange to stop people from like, or let's do the math for a second to see if people are gonna be like manipulating the economy, and then bust people who manipulate the economy. You see, karma is real, guys. Karma is real. I'm not talking about like jagex deserves to go, you know, down the shitter and stop making money or something. It's like jagex and the people that work there, is there not as much is let the owners do the talking of like, we like RuneScape will grow, you know, create a marketable fucking game. You know, let's think about that one for a second. I've been in business for 27 years. Create a marketable game. You know, maybe an array of games. You know, release like a day of release version. Re-release to, you know, RuneScape Classic. Even if RuneScape Classic is losing, you know, $1,000 a month or $10,000 a year of like keeping the servers active for people who want to play, it's going to work out better in the long term. And the proof is in the pudding. We want with jagex in 2007, what made fucking RuneScape last, like what brought me into RuneScape, the best times of my fucking life on RuneScape was in 2006, 2007. It's like the biggest influx of players. It's like the biggest influx of players. They had players before then. I played before then. But to me, in my mind, I started playing in 2007, and to me that was like the biggest influx of players, was 2006, 2007. And, you know, we need like 2006, 2007 with like Fire Cape, Fighter Torso, and stuff like that, and just the Grand Exchange, you know. Or a great fucking idea that I have is to have like a make your own server feature. I'll make your own server feature where you could like start with bare bones, like any like copy of RuneScape, but don't give them the source code, because then they're gonna be like a million of illegal copies of fucking RuneScape. But create like a make your own server feature that I want to implement when I buy stake in jagex. That's one thing I want to do in my fucking life. I will give jagex 90% of everything I fucking have to be able to make this decision. Make your own, number one is create a more marketable game. You know, a game that's fun. You know, a game that's fun all the way through. And this, don't add so much new shit into it. Don't add so much new shit into it all the time. I like a game that I can beat in a single lifetime. I'm not going to be like up there in heaven playing fucking RuneScape. You know, humans, we lived like 70 years. You know, maybe some people live longer. You know, they say like back in the Bible, let's not talk about that. You know, people live to be like, you know, like 70, you know, as far as I know, you know. And there's probably like other races of people that live like a really long time. There's probably like bugs and stuff that live like thousands of years, but there's probably even like races of humans that live like thousands of years. Let's think about that for a second. You know, what we're taught in school is probably based on ignorance, not from trying to make you ignorant, but from ignorance itself, of the people that don't know are writing the school books. You know, and let's think about this for a second. A make your own server feature where you pay like $100 a year to host your own server, and out of the depending on how much time people play, you might make like, you know, 10 cents per hour that someone plays on your fucking server, you know, or like 1/10, like a decent chunk of like a fraction, like 1/10 is like a wonderful thing. Would be like a wonderful idea. It sounds good in the fucking mind of someone who wants to make a server, as we have to understand that jagex has put all the work into the fucking game. But 1/10, if you blow and make the best fucking server, or one of the best fucking servers, you'll be making like tens of thousands of dollars a month, you know. All the best like shit, you know, we'll have like servers for every fucking reason. The thing is, you know, back in 2015 or 2012 or something, there was a game coming out called 2006scape. It was just called 2006scape. It was a recreation of RuneScape in 2006. And jagex fucking sued them and took down their server and created old school RuneScape, which I don't disagree with. No one can disagree with that. We all wanted the old fucking experience back. But we didn't want old school RuneScape to turn into what it's turned into now. There's a lot of shit about old school RuneScape that I don't like. RuneScape 3 is an awesome fucking game, but the game engine sucks ass. You know, what about RuneScape 4? I do not like the aspect of Dragon Wilds. RuneScape Dragon Wilds. RuneScape Dragon Wilds, you know, I just don't like the move around with I want RuneScape 4 to come out as a spawn of RuneScape 3. You know, I want RuneScape 4 to come out as a spawn of RuneScape 3 with different graphics, like more like cartoonish graphics. Like, don't try to make it like, maybe this time we don't try to make it like, and then we'll complain that it's too cartoonish, you know, and then we'll make it more real. And we're gonna get this shit fucking, like, until it's as close to perfect, as reasonably perfect as it can possibly be. And really, as someone who has invested over 20,000 fucking hours of my goddamn life, and like lost relationships with my family over this game, like I'd be sitting in the fucking basement at Christmas time, like on Ventrilo with my friends at Christmas, playing this fucking game instead of like talking to my family, you know. And, you know, hey Johnny. You know, I've like lost is a lot for this fucking game. And I just don't want you to take down my goddamn 2004scape. Game sucks anyways. You know, I wish I could play old school or like RuneScape 3, but I'll show you what I'm working with. This is my current I use like a fucking platform, Ultima, Google Chrome revision. Well, it doesn't even say, but this computer just basically sucks. So there you fucking go. You know, there you fucking go. You know, it's like an old ass fucking Chromebook that was used, I think, by a school. You know, that was meant just to like watch videos and like do schoolwork, and somehow it can run like, you know, 2004scape, which is awesome. So, anyways, guys, who wants a part-time career making videos for the channel? I'll pay you $5 for your RuneScape videos. You know, if you want to be featured on the channel, you know, at some point we're going to be uploading like 10 videos a day. I want people who play RuneScape 3. I want people who play old school RuneScape and RuneScape Classic. You know, I want 3 people to pay $5 for every fucking update video or something like that. And then as you grow on this channel, you know, you can go make your own channel, or you can stay with me, or not, or yes or no. And if people don't like your stuff, then like, I don't know, you know, is like people that check, I don't even think people check their subscription boxes anymore. I don't check my subscription box. Only for like certain video makers. Like 90% of the shit in my subscription box is garbage anyways. Probably I want to have like a shitload of people like making videos for the channel someday. Have like 10 uploads coming in every fucking day, and you'll have like my weekly progress report, you know, and like whatever other videos I decide to make. And then like, anyways, yeah, a build, what about a jagex, you know, what about a build your own private server that you can link back to any version of fucking RuneScape and alter it any way you want? And jagex owns all the original source code for like, let's say like some random like update or some random year of every fucking version of the game, and you can pick the version of the game that you like the best. Now that's a fucking idea.